Knicks rehab.
New York Knicks, man. Rehab.
NBA trade deadline has come to a close. Nope, the Knicks did not get Giannis. We brought home a kid, hometown kid, Jose Alvarado.
The New York Knicks have already made a move, and now we're following a developing story out of the Big Apple. For more, we say hello to our senior reporter, Tim Bontemps. Tim, what's happening in New York?
So, Malika, we talked before about the Jose Alvarado trade and what his role would be in New York. His role will be to replace Miles McBride in the rotation for a pretty significant period of time here. He's going to have a procedure done later this week on a core muscle injury. Could keep him out for an extended period. Miles has been a very important part of New York's rotation, coming off the bench, playing with Jalen Brunson in their front court as a shooter. Jose Alvarado is obviously a different kind of player. He's more of an attacker, getting in the paint. He's a pesky defender. It's obviously the full court Alvarado move that he has perfected, getting steals in the backcourt. But I think you're going to see him and Tyler Kolek come off the bench and play in a similar way to the way that Deuce McBride and Tyler Kolek have over the past several months. So obviously the Knicks losing McBride, a key piece to see if they can get him back in time for what they hope will be a long playoff run. But getting Alvarado in the mix as a veteran guard to have in Mike Brown's rotation is a guy that can plug and play right away, probably potentially as soon as Friday when they have a huge showdown with the Detroit Pistons atop the Eastern Conference standing.
Oh, boy. We feeling this Jose Alvarado coming to the Knicks, coming home. Huh? BK's finest, El Body. Huh?
I mean, you know, we talked about this for a bit now, right? It seems like we had our eyes on Alvarado for a while. Of course, we probably didn't pull a trigger early because, you know, we figured we was going to get the clown, right? But, you know, we got the news. Deuce is out, you know, to the playoffs. And what if he can't make the playoffs? So I think the front office, listen, I think that was the best move, right? But when you really think about it, you know, a guy like Alvarado, you know, to get him for Yabusele, I think is a steal. We all know we was all tired of seeing Yabusele, like to the point where it was annoying. I'm just being honest. When they put him on the court, I almost changed the channel, and then you change back to see if he's off the court. Like it was like Yabusele was starting to irk me, right? So, you know, to get another ball handler, to get a guy, you know, that's going to bring some toughness, some energy. He's from the city, you know, and he's pesky on defense, right? Guy that never gives up, chip on his shoulder, small guard, like I said, from Brooklyn with that mentality. So I like it from that standpoint. Another guard, and I feel like, you know, him being in the league as long as he's been and what he can do, you got to remember he's not going to lessen Cole's minutes. It's those other guys whose minutes are going to get smaller, right? You know, McCullough, Diawara, some of those guys. But I like the move. I'm not in love with the move, but I think potentially we're going to start falling in love with the move once, you know, once he becomes who he is. Like I said, just a guy you can put out there, you know, guard this guy, be a pest. But remember, he's got us just going to have just high energy. And like I said, just that toughness, that grit. Remember, you know, him and Josh Hart on the court together, I want to see how that's going to be. Just the energy, right? Talking shit, not backing down. So I think we need a guy like that. So for me, but I'm just more ecstatic that we got another ball handler because we all know we really only got two, and that's Kolek and Brunson. So now you bring in another guard, like I said, that can handle the ball. So now Brunson sometimes could be on the court with him, a la Kolek, the same thing. And now, you know, we got some more ball handlers. So I like the move, but I think potentially, you know, once it settles in and once he gets some games under his belt and once he adapts and, you know, the fellas start showing him love and he gains some chemistry, I think this is going to be a good move. I really do. I think he's a good fit for us. It's just we was looking for the home run. You know, I was looking for the home run, but we all said we need another ball handler. And I think the front office did the best they could, knowing that now Deuce is going to be out basically for the season. Yes,
and of course.
One last point. I'm sorry. And Mo, yes, he's a dog. And we all know you got to have a couple of those on the squad at this time, you know, to be successful.
And of course, Yabusele, Guerschon Yabusele, was underwhelming, was traded to the Bulls for, how you say his name, Darren Tyler? Yeah, Dalen Terry. I'm sorry.
Darren,
Dalen Terry. And then we flipped that, got Grand Theft Alvarado. What a name, Flea. Coming from Brooklyn. How fitting is that? You were born in the 80s, 90s, you know. That's exactly what Brooklyn is, even though it's more of a Bronx dude. Lee, what are your thoughts on the acquisition of Jose Alvarado?
Cool move. I think it's kind of like almost perfect, meaning something that we need. I was hoping for a bigger guard, right? I was hoping for maybe another wing defender, but you getting a guy that strictly worries about playing defense, right? So you're not gonna worry about a guy that's gonna come in and be worried about where he getting his shots, right? Yabusele was worried about getting in the rotation. Clarkson worries about getting in the game and putting up shots. Jose Alvarado doesn't shoot it well from a percentage wise, but he can hit shots, and that's what we have right now. We got a bunch of niggas that can hit shots. So if we bring him on the team, and it's a guy that is gonna go in the locker room, and from what I've seen, really have no problem saying, "Hey, we slacking on defense. Hey, let's bring it." Being a young dog, right? Like he got youth on his side too. He ain't an old cat. It's not some old nigga that you bringing into the
good point,
onto the roster, right? And now you just saying, you're gonna have spot minutes. Unfortunately, Deuce is gonna be down for a while. Those minutes get freed up. When you get into the spots where you feel like you can't play Kolick, right? In spots where you're like, damn, I can't trust this dude. Right. You could put Alvarado out there and have some trust in him. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only thing that I have caused the pause with is he's a young guy coming back home to play in New York City.
That should never work out.
With a bunch of money. He left here with no money. He went to Georgia Tech. From Georgia Tech, he gets drafted, right? Or he went undrafted, whatever it was. But I'm gonna tell you right now, a young nigga coming back from Brooklyn, coming back home, playing for the Knicks, right? Like you got to have the right people around you. So I'm just hoping that whoever his support system is, whoever's around him, I don't know if he's married, I don't know if he has kids, I don't know his situation. But I'm just saying, from just the outside looking in, I would hope whoever's in his circle is smart enough to understand, hey, don't come back home and wanting to be outside with us. You're a professional athlete. You play for the marquee team in the city, and the team is actually good right now. It's not like we just some bottom feeders. It's not Marbury coming back home. Obviously, a different caliber of player, but it's not that. You know what I'm saying? He's coming back to the Knicks, who are the talk of the NBA. We were in the Giannis talks, and we wound up getting you. So I just hope that he got his head on straight. He's ready to come here and contribute to doing what we're doing, and just play defense and be a dog. So I like it. I like the move a lot.
I love it. I ain't worried about him being misled by us, New York City. They call Cat the big bodega, but Alvarado's really from here. Let's not forget, as much as I wasn't big on Campaign, I can't, there was so many times that Campaign was on fire last year, including against the Pistons. But I don't even think we beat the Pistons without Campaign. He had one game that was tremendous. I don't know if we lost that game. I don't know, it might have been game 2 or we lost, and he was going crazy. But I think he brings that kind of energy, and defensively, he's just a pest. He's going to be just a crowd pleaser. We know that just by, him watching him over there with the Pelicans. Christ the King. He went to Christ the King High School. That's in Queens, of course. And he's from Brooklyn. I forgot what part of Brooklyn, BK he's from. I would think by Bushwick or some shit, because he's Puerto Rican.
I thought it was Fort Greene. We got to check into Fort that.
Greene?
Okay. No. I think I'm not saying I'm 100% correct, but yeah, I'll find out where he's from in BK.
Jose, everything about it, I think he's gonna bring the energy. He got what we're missing. The PJ Tucker effect, everything about those guys who are veterans. I think he's gonna be able to go in that locker room and speak a different kind of way. He just feels like a New Yorker. Everything about him, he looks like a Puerto Rican from any part of Brooklyn or the Bronx. And I don't see, Cat or these guys getting away with a lot around him. He's gonna speak his mind. It sounds like it. Right. He did throw hands with homeboy the other day. So he's
about to beat Mark Williams up.
I mean, you know how we do, Flea. We think we could beat everybody up, us little people, man. He represents the little crew. So
I love it. I love
he
it.
has that mentality. Of course, I mean my doubts just come from the basketball court, and it's another small guard, him, Kolick, and Brunson. How do we play them? That's going to be a tough part, and that comes second to the energy.
I disagree with that, right? Because we found a way to play, Kolick, Deuce, and Brunson. Not saying on the floor together, but I think Mike Brown. I think this is a great problem to have. I think a guy like Alvarado, Flea alluded to something. What I like about him is he knows his role. He knows he knows why he's in the NBA. He knows why he's staying in the NBA. He knows his role and he knows it very well. He's not going to come over here and try to be something he's not. He's actually coming over here, and we need what he can contribute, which is toughness, energy, a spark, and like you said, a guy that's going to hold people accountable, and he's going to be a guy that's going to fight for others. He may be the guy that'll see somebody disrespecting Cat, it may jump up in your face. So I totally disagree. I think the same way, Mike Brown, because remember, some games Kolick may not be able to play only because, he's second year of the season. Some games it may be a little tougher for him to be out there due to the opposing team. So I disagree with that, Fabian.
I don't see how you can. I think everything you said was on point. He knows who he is. I'm not concerned with who he is at all. I know what to expect because of who he is. This is a league full of 6'4" point guards, like athletic. That's what my concern is how can Mike Brown, infuse him into a lineup or these different lineups that we still look at him like, yo, bro, Shamet is on fire. Just leave him in the game. And maybe he's just waiting for the playoffs for all this, but it's still, for me, it's still a cause of a concern. You ain't convincing me that 6 feet is something not to be concerned about. Well, all I've been hearing from this guy, Flea, for 3 years, I had to see this damn retweet from Becky Hammond every other month when Brunson has a bad game. I told you he was a little guard. Well, this guy's not only a little guard, he has a lot of other shortcomings, but that gets washed away with the fact that the energy he's bringing to the city is different. I can't ignore that. I just can't. He's us. He sounds like KNICKS Rehab. That's what he feels like. So can't wait to bump into him in the street, Flea. I ain't worried about him hanging out with nobody. I'm worried about him telling them, yo, don't go over there. Don't be over there. Nah. Stay Midtown. Go more a little further uptown. I'm going to take you over here. He's going to know how to really get these guys mixed up. And the reverse is true, too. These guys are going to tell him, wait a minute, if he does veer off, that ain't what the plan is about. We made Eastern Conference Finals last year. I don't know if you've ever been in one, Jose, but this is the goal. We got to get past these Pistons. You the kind of guy we need to go piss off Cade, to go piss off Isaiah Stewart, who's a hothead. Get them riled up and get them off their square. He's the guy on the team that has the cojones. At this point, I don't see anybody else that can do what he does. He's that X factor in a lot of ways. Of course, don't want to rely on it, but at least we have another ingredient, a little minor weapon to try to throw the other team off, Flea.
Sometimes these moves are the moves that you do make. I know OG is disappointed, and even the whole Nick fan base, because like if Giannis walks through the door, you feel good, right? Whether you don't know what's gonna happen or not, if he walks through the door, you feel good. That didn't happen. All good. We move on. This is the type of moves that are like championship level moves within the season. You move for Giannis, you ain't winning the championship this postseason. But this type of move helps you continue to go towards the championship that you striving for. So I can't be mad that we didn't go and do a big splash move, right? A minor tweak and a need. Because now it comes out, we was sitting around here talking about ain't shit wrong with that nigga's ankle. You can't tell me that you're load managing Deuce McBride's ankle. And now all of a sudden it comes out that he got a completely different injury, completely different than what everybody was speculating on. So it was a need at the end of the day. Because what you going to do? You're going to play Kolick? We all know that Kolick is a good basketball player. But in certain spots, Adelman said yesterday, the coach of the Nuggets, said, Bruce Brown, I don't want you to do shit else but hound him when he got the basketball.
Yeah.
Make him get off of it because he's a good facilitator, right? Kolick knows how to get guys going, get guys in their spots. He said, Bruce Brown, fuck him up. And Bruce Brown just stood out there and fucked him up every time he had every time he had the basketball last night. I don't see Jose Alvarado being rattled like that when it's time to create offense. I don't know if he's as good of a creator, but he's a ball handler. He's a dog. He gonna figure it out.
Y'all know what this was?
KNICKS Rehab.
KNICKS Rehab, y'all. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.